Are you ready for what's about to hit the grocery shelves? Have you walked through your local supermarket lately and noticed the subtle changes happening right before your eyes? While most shoppers are going about their daily routines, completely unaware of what's brewing behind the scenes, certain products are quietly disappearing from inventory systems. Today, I'm going to reveal the 8 grocery products that industry insiders are warning won't be available next month. This isn't speculation or fear-mongering. This is based on actual supply chain data and manufacturer alerts that most consumers never see. Before we dive into what these products are and why they're vanishing, let me share something that might shock you. Last month alone, over 47 different grocery items experienced what the industry calls critical supply interruptions. That's nearly double the number from the same period last year. But here's what's really concerning. 8 specific products are now flagged as completely unavailable for restocking starting next month. These aren't obscure specialty items you've never heard of. These are everyday essentials that millions of families rely on. I have spent the last 3 weeks researching this, connecting with industry contacts, and analyzing supply chain reports that paint a very clear picture. What you're about to learn could save you from the frustration of empty shelves and help you prepare your household before it's too late. We're going to walk through all 8 products, explain exactly why each one is disappearing, and most importantly, give you actionable strategies to navigate this situation. But first, let's talk about why this is happening now. The perfect storm of factors creating these shortages isn't just about one or two issues. It's a cascade of problems that have been building for months. Manufacturing disruptions, transportation bottlenecks, raw material shortages, and regulatory changes are all converging at once. What makes this particularly challenging is that these 8 products come from completely different categories, which means this isn't isolated to one industry or one type of item. 8. Specialty cooking oils. Have you tried to find avocado oil or premium olive oil varieties lately? Here's what most people don't realize. 3 major processing facilities that handle specialty oil production have temporarily shut down due to equipment failures and regulatory compliance issues. We're talking about the facilities that produce nearly 60% of the specialty cooking oils you see on supermarket shelves. The situation gets more complicated when you look at the supply chain. These oils don't just appear magically on shelves. They require specific harvesting timing, specialized processing equipment, and temperature-controlled transportation. Right now, avocado oil production is facing a double hit. The primary processing facility in California has been offline since mid-last month, and the backup facility in Mexico is operating at only 30% capacity due to equipment shortages. What does this mean for you? If you rely on these oils for cooking, baking, or health reasons, next month you'll likely find empty shelves where these products used to be. The standard vegetable oils and basic olive oils will still be available, but anything considered premium or specialty is going to vanish. Industry experts are telling me it could be 3 to 4 months before normal inventory levels return. Here's what you can do right now. If specialty cooking oils are part of your regular routine, consider picking up 2 or 3 bottles of your preferred types. These oils have excellent shelf lives when stored properly. Keep them in cool, dark places away from heat sources. Don't go overboard, but having a reasonable backup supply makes sense given what's coming. 7. Premium breakfast cereals. This one surprised me when I first heard about it, but the more I dug into the details, the more it made sense. We're not talking about basic cereals here. We're talking about the premium, organic, and specialty grain cereals that have become increasingly popular over the past few years. The issue stems from a combination of grain supply problems and packaging material shortages. The specific grains used in these premium cereals, things like ancient grains, organic oats, and specialty wheat varieties, come from a limited number of suppliers. 2 of the largest suppliers have reported significant crop yield reductions, and the third is dealing with transportation issues that have created massive delays. But here's the kicker. Even if the grain supply was perfect, there's a critical shortage of the specialized packaging materials these products require. Premium cereals often use different types of bags, boxes, and liner materials compared to standard cereals. The companies that produce these packaging materials are backlogged by several months, and they're prioritizing their largest, most established clients first. What this means is that starting next month, you'll see gaps on the cereal aisle where these premium products used to be. The basic cereals will still be there, but anything marketed as organic, ancient grain, or specialty will likely be missing. Some manufacturers are telling retailers to expect these shortages to last until at least early next year. If your family depends on these types of cereals, whether for dietary reasons, health preferences, or just because that's what everyone likes, now is the time to stock up. Cereals have long shelf lives, especially when stored in airtight containers after opening. Consider getting enough to last your household 2 to 3 months, but be reasonable about it. We're talking about preparing your family, not clearing out store shelves. 6. Imported pasta varieties. While regular pasta will still be available, the imported varieties that many home cooks have come to love are facing serious availability issues. This isn't about basic spaghetti or macaroni. This is about the specialty shapes, artisanal pasta, and imported Italian varieties that have become staples in many kitchens. The problem is multifaceted. European pasta manufacturers are dealing with energy cost increases that have forced several facilities to reduce production schedules. At the same time, shipping costs and delays have made it economically challenging for importers to maintain their usual inventory levels. Some importers are telling me they've had shipments delayed by 6 to 8 weeks, and when those shipments finally arrive, the costs have increased so dramatically that they can't afford to restock at previous levels. There's also a quality control issue that's emerged recently. Several batches of imported pasta failed inspection due to packaging integrity problems caused by extended shipping delays and temperature fluctuations. This has created additional delays as manufacturers work to resolve these quality issues. For pasta lovers who enjoy cooking with authentic Italian shapes or specialty varieties, this shortage is going to be particularly noticeable. The good news is that pasta has an excellent shelf life, making it ideal for stocking up. If you regularly use imported pasta varieties, consider purchasing several packages of your favorites. Store them in cool, dry places, and they'll maintain their quality for many months. 5. Artisanal bread products. The artisanal bread section of your grocery store is about to look very different. Small batch bread producers are facing a crisis that's forcing many of them to temporarily halt production or dramatically reduce their output. This affects everything from specialty sourdoughs to organic whole grain loaves that have become increasingly popular. The issue isn't just one problem, it's several converging at once. Specialty flour suppliers are experiencing shortages of the specific flour types these artisanal bakers require. At the same time, energy costs for these small producers have increased to the point where many simply can't afford to maintain their previous production levels. Unlike large commercial bakeries that have long-term energy contracts, these smaller producers are paying market rates that have become prohibitive. There's also a staffing issue. Many artisanal bakeries operate with small teams, and recent health concerns have reduced available workforce. When you're talking about operations that might have only 3 or 4 skilled bakers, losing even one person can dramatically impact production capacity. What makes this particularly challenging is that artisanal bread doesn't freeze and store as well as commercial bread products. However, if these products are important to your household, you might consider learning some basic bread making techniques or identifying which commercial alternatives might work for your family during this shortage period. The timeline for resolution is unclear because it depends on multiple factors outside the control of individual producers. Industry sources suggest it could be several months before normal availability returns, and even then, prices will likely be significantly higher than what we've seen in the past. 4. Specialty dairy alternatives. The plant-based milk and dairy alternative section is facing significant disruptions that will become apparent next month. We're not talking about basic almond milk or soy milk. Those will likely remain available. We're talking about the specialty alternatives like oat milk varieties, specialty nut milks, and premium plant-based products that have gained popularity recently. The challenge with these specialty dairy alternatives starts with raw material sourcing. Oats used for premium oat milk come from specific suppliers who maintain particular quality standards for texture and taste. 3 of the 5 major oat suppliers have reported crop issues that have reduced their available inventory by nearly 40%. When you combine this with increased demand over the past year, the math simply doesn't work out. But here's where it gets more complicated. The processing facilities that turn these raw materials into the shelf-stable products you find in stores require specialized equipment and specific expertise. Unlike regular dairy processing, plant-based alternatives need different machinery, different quality control processes, and different packaging systems. Two major processing facilities are currently offline for equipment upgrades that were supposed to be completed months ago but have been delayed due to part shortages. The packaging situation is particularly challenging for these products. Many specialty dairy alternatives use unique packaging materials designed to preserve freshness and extend shelf life without refrigeration. The companies that produce these specialized cartons and bottles are experiencing their own supply chain disruptions, creating a bottleneck that affects the entire category. For families who rely on these products, whether due to dietary restrictions, health preferences, or lifestyle choices, this shortage represents a real challenge. Unlike some other categories where substitutions might be easy, dairy alternatives often serve specific nutritional or dietary needs that can't be easily replaced. If these products are essential for your household, consider stocking up on shelf-stable versions now. Many of these products have surprisingly long shelf lives when unopened, and they don't require refrigeration until opened. Look for multi-packs or larger containers if they're available, as these tend to offer better value and longer-lasting supply. 3. Gourmet frozen foods. The premium frozen food section is about to experience significant gaps, and this affects everything from artisanal ice creams to specialty frozen meals that have become convenient staples for many busy families. This isn't about basic frozen vegetables or standard frozen dinners. Those will remain largely unaffected. We're talking about the higher-end products that often cost 2 to 3 times more than standard alternatives. The frozen food industry operates on extremely tight margins and precise logistics. These gourmet products require specialized freezing processes, premium ingredients, and often smaller production runs compared to mass-market items. Right now, several factors are converging to make production of these items economically unfeasible for many manufacturers. Energy costs for maintaining the ultra-low temperatures required for premium frozen products have increased dramatically. Small and medium-sized producers who create these gourmet items don't have the same economies of scale as major corporations, making them particularly vulnerable to cost increases. Some producers are telling me their energy costs have tripled over the past 6 months. There's also a transportation challenge specific to frozen foods. The specialized refrigerated trucks needed to maintain proper temperatures throughout the supply chain are in short supply. When these trucks are available, the costs have increased significantly, making it difficult for smaller producers to get their products to retail locations profitably. Ingredient sourcing adds another layer of complexity. Gourmet frozen foods often use premium ingredients that come from specific suppliers. When those suppliers face their own disruptions, it creates a ripple effect that can halt production entirely. Unlike mass-market products that can substitute ingredients more easily, these premium items depend on specific quality standards that can't be compromised. The storage and distribution infrastructure for frozen foods is also under strain. Warehouse space with proper freezing capabilities is limited, and priority goes to the highest volume products. This means specialty items often get pushed out of the distribution chain when space becomes tight. For households that regularly purchase these premium frozen items, the impact will be noticeable starting next month. Consider identifying which products are most important to your family and purchasing reasonable quantities now. Keep in mind that home freezer space is limited, so focus on items you use most frequently. 2. Specialty beverages and drink mixes. The beverage aisle is about to look quite different, particularly in the sections dedicated to premium drinks, specialty coffee products, and unique beverage mixes that have gained popularity over recent years. This category encompasses everything from artisanal sodas to premium sports drinks to specialty coffee creamers and flavor enhancers. The beverage industry relies heavily on specialized ingredients that come from around the world. Natural flavoring compounds, premium sweeteners, and unique additives that give these products their distinctive tastes are sourced from a limited number of suppliers. Several of these suppliers have reported production issues that have created shortages of key ingredients. Packaging presents another significant challenge for specialty beverages. Many of these products use unique bottle shapes, specialized caps, or distinctive labeling materials that set them apart from standard offerings. The companies that produce these specialized packaging materials are experiencing delays and increased costs that make it difficult for beverage manufacturers to maintain production schedules. Quality control standards for specialty beverages are often more stringent than for standard products. This means that even small disruptions in the supply chain can halt production, while manufacturers ensure their products meet specific taste, texture, and safety requirements. Unlike basic beverages where slight variations might be acceptable, premium products must maintain consistent quality standards that customers expect. The distribution network for specialty beverages also faces unique challenges. These products often have shorter shelf lives than standard beverages, require specific storage conditions, and move through the supply chain in smaller quantities. When transportation delays occur, it can result in products expiring before they reach retail shelves. For consumers who enjoy these specialty beverages, whether for their unique flavors, health benefits, or as part of daily routines, next month will bring noticeable changes. Consider purchasing additional quantities of your preferred products now, keeping in mind their expiration dates and storage requirements. And finally, number 1, premium condiments and specialty sauces. This category might surprise you, but it's facing some of the most severe disruptions of any grocery category. We're talking about artisanal mustards, specialty hot sauces, gourmet salad dressings, and unique flavor enhancers that have become staples in many kitchens. The production of premium condiments involves complex processes that depend on specific ingredients sourced from around the globe. Small batch producers who create these products often work with limited suppliers for their unique ingredients. When those suppliers face disruptions, it can completely halt production of entire product lines. Many of these specialty sauces require aging processes or fermentation periods that can't be rushed or altered. When production schedules get disrupted, it creates gaps that can last for months. Unlike basic ketchup or mustard that can be produced quickly in large batches, premium condiments often need weeks or even months to develop their distinctive flavors. The glass jars and unique packaging used for these products present another bottleneck. Premium condiments are often packaged in distinctive containers that reinforce their artisanal image. The suppliers who produce these specialized jars, caps, and labels are experiencing significant delays. Some manufacturers have been waiting 4 to 6 months for packaging materials that used to arrive within weeks. Here's what makes this situation particularly challenging. Many small condiment producers operate with limited storage capacity and work on just-in-time production schedules. When one component of their supply chain fails, they can't maintain production. Unlike large corporations that might have backup suppliers or alternative packaging options, these smaller operations often depend on single-source relationships that leave them vulnerable to disruptions. The regulatory environment adds another layer of complexity. Specialty condiments often use unique ingredients or production methods that require specific certifications or approvals. When suppliers change or new regulations are implemented, it can take months to get products back to market, even after the initial supply issues are resolved. Temperature-controlled storage and transportation requirements for many of these products create additional challenges. Premium condiments often contain natural ingredients without the preservatives found in mass-market products. This means they require more careful handling throughout the supply chain, and when transportation delays occur, entire shipments can be lost due to spoilage. For home cooks who rely on these specialty condiments to create their favorite dishes, this shortage will be particularly noticeable. These products often serve as key flavor components that can't be easily substituted. A specific hot sauce or artisanal mustard might be the defining element in a family recipe, making substitutions difficult or impossible. The timeline for resolution varies significantly across different products in this category. Some manufacturers are telling retailers that certain items might not return to shelves until next year, while others hope to resume limited production within a few months. The uncertainty makes it difficult for both retailers and consumers to plan effectively. If specialty condiments are important to your cooking or dining preferences, now is the time to secure your favorites. Most condiments have excellent shelf lives when stored properly, making them ideal for reasonable stockpiling. Look for products you use regularly and consider purchasing 2 or 3 containers of each. Store them in a cool, dark places away from temperature fluctuations to maximize their longevity. What makes this entire situation more concerning is that it's not just affecting individual products. It's creating a ripple effect throughout the grocery industry. When specialty suppliers shut down or reduce production, it forces consumers toward mainstream alternatives, creating increased demand for products that are still available. This can lead to secondary shortages as remaining suppliers struggle to meet increased demand. The economic implications extend beyond just consumer inconvenience. Small specialty food producers employ thousands of people across the country, and prolonged production shutdowns could lead to permanent business closures. This consolidates more food production into the hands of larger corporations, potentially reducing the diversity of products available to consumers long term. Regional variations in these shortages are also worth considering. Some areas might experience more severe disruptions than others based on their distribution networks and supplier relationships. Urban areas with diverse grocery options might find alternative sources, while rural communities with limited shopping choices could face more significant challenges. The key to navigating this situation successfully is staying informed and taking reasonable preparatory steps now, before these shortages become widespread. Don't wait until you're standing in front of empty shelves wondering what happened to your favorite products. The warning signs are clear and the information is available for those paying attention. These 8 categories represent just the beginning of what industry experts expect to be ongoing supply chain challenges throughout the remainder of this year and potentially into next year. Understanding what's coming allows you to make informed decisions about your household's needs and avoid the frustration of discovering these shortages when you're already at the store. The grocery shopping experience is changing, and consumers who adapt quickly will fare better than those who wait and react. This isn't about creating panic or encouraging excessive stockpiling. It's about being prepared and making smart decisions based on reliable information about what's actually happening in the food supply chain. There you have it, the 8 grocery products that won't be available next month. From specialty cooking oils to premium condiments, we've covered the categories that are about to disappear from shelves, while most shoppers remain completely unaware of what's coming. Remember, this isn't about panic buying or clearing out entire store sections. It's about being informed and taking reasonable steps to prepare your household. If any of these products are essential to your family's routine, now is the time to secure what you need. We're talking about strategic purchasing, grabbing 2 or 3 extra items, not filling your garage with cases of specialty sauces. The bigger picture here is that our food supply chain is more fragile than most people realize. These shortages aren't random events. They're the result of interconnected systems breaking down at multiple points simultaneously. What we're seeing with these 8 categories is just the beginning of a broader trend that's likely to continue affecting grocery availability. Keep your eyes open during your next shopping trip. Start noticing the subtle changes, the gaps where certain products used to be, the reduced variety in specialty sections, the signs that retailers post about temporary unavailability. Once you know what to look for, you'll see these changes everywhere. Most importantly, don't assume that basic alternatives will always be available to replace specialty items. When supply chains shift dramatically, it creates pressure throughout the entire system. Today's specialty shortage can become tomorrow's mainstream shortage if enough people suddenly need the same alternatives. Stay informed, shop strategically, and remember, being prepared isn't about fear. It's about taking control of what you can control in an increasingly unpredictable world.